Docking Hello and welcome back to Star Trek Adventures Sovereign Season 2. We are back again for another run after a very dicey cliffhanger, which we'll get to in just a moment. But you're also going to see some new faces this season, including Mallory. Say hi, Mallory. Mallory is joining the crew along with one other person, so we'll hopefully have a good turnout every session for our episodes. So it has been a while, and to get everybody caught up, we put together a recap video of season 1. So let's go ahead and roll that for the previously on. Previously on Star Trek Sovereign. You receive a hail. Our dome has a structural breach. Supplies down and repair the breach. Type in, you scan the area. You're definitely detecting neutrinos there, but it doesn't seem as though they should be interfering with the transporter. The neutrino emissions surge, and sure enough, a ship decloaks. On the view screen it's a pack lead. I am Captain Furbanod. This mining station is now mine. We want all the new dilithium.
We could replicate a dilithium-looking helmet and beam it onto the bridge.
Yes. Yes, please.
Maybe distract them with shiny big helmets.
So as soon as you lower the shields, I'm spending 2 threat. Your intelligence officer, Sahir, disappears from the bridge. Helmet and all, gone.
No!
Meantime, the Sovereign took off and was able to track Packlet ship. They devised a plan, prepped the plan, and Trailar and was able to do a barrel roll right on top Packlet ship. Took out the shields, beamed Sahir off, and then took off and left the system. And the Packlets didn't even know what hit them. The barrels fall down, the top pops off, and out spills a bunch of dilithium ore. You know, mostly purplish hue. There's one piece of ore that has a very red tint to it. You start to scan it. The container that it was in got jostled, seems to have affected it in such a way that it actually seems to pop and then just kind of gone. And there's a little bit of residue left.
Strangely, though, Commander Sovek has absconded with the captain's yacht and has managed to disable the ship with his command codes.
Immediately, the ship is locked by a traptor beam emanating from the planet. Just as you're about to bend down to go in, you disappear from the bridge. And right after Sayar says that, the MacGuffin beam flashes on him and he disappears from engineering.
Shepard to Chief.
And the MacGuffin beam hits the captain and he disappears. And the MacGuffin beam hits her too and she disappears from the bridge. The planet's surface, as the MacGuffin beams dissipate, Trailar and Sayar and Hassar and Captain Shepard rematerialize. You see Sovek and these 2 other humanoids. I am Captain Murat. My men commandeered a shuttle to come to this planet. What do you know about that?
My first officer commandeered a shuttle and came to this planet too. Okay, Temna, this is it. Let's try and shut it down.
You start putting in the process, using the tricorder, doing all that stuff. It's a little touch and go, but you got the power rerouted so that it didn't explode everything. You got everything shut down in the appropriate sequence. The power goes out in each one. The light goes out. The buzzing noise stops. Captain, your comm badge chirps.
Yes, Kertrax. Is everyone okay?
Everyone's fine. And then the comm line goes dead. The lights completely turn off. While this is all happening, Julk and Sovek almost immediately begin to feel a sense of regaining themselves. Captain Murat, seeing this, runs over to Julk, grabs him by his shoulders and says, "Oh my God, you're okay." Kisses him, hugs him, and embraces him. Then the power shuts off in the room, the emergency lights come on, rumbling starts on the floor, and a what sounds like explosions from outside the monolith start to go off, and then all of a sudden an alarm starts, a holographic map of the planet turns on, and you can see on the holographic image that there are several monoliths around the entire planet that are starting to implode and crumble, and the entire planet seems to be vibrating and almost shrinking ever so slowly. And with that, we will end for tonight, and we will pick it up next time.
Oh,
Okay, now I can hear your 3D printer.
All right. Oh, now you can? All right. So that was our recap of season 1. So quite a bit of excitement there in the last episode. Do any of you have a log that you want to read before we get started? I'll recap a little bit too. All right.
I think I'm ready to go.
All right. So the last we saw our crew, and I apologize, the Vulcanoid visitors are missing from this because I realized at the last minute that I did not have their tokens. So imagine that there's a couple of Vulcanoids amongst this group. So you were able to shut down the tractor beam that was holding the ship in place. However, one of the side effects of shutting off the power was that it seems to have destabilized the entire planet. There is a holographic display of the planet showing that the monoliths all over the planet's surface are collapsing, and the planet is vibrating and almost eating itself from the inside. As this is happening, the room is shaking that you're in. Debris starts to come down from the ceilings. One piece of debris hits Tralar and knocks him out. One piece of the bulkhead inside the chamber that Temna and Shepard are in fall and knock Temna out. And some debris falls and hits the two Vulcanoids and knocks them out. So basically, the only people who are conscious are the players that are here, if that makes sense. So that is what is happening on the planet's surface. However, we are going to start on the bridge of the USS Sovereign, where currently Kertrax is in command, and Ensign Foster, the only other member of the bridge crew left, the security officer, has taken over at the security station. This is moments after Kertrax was able to communicate with Captain Shepard on the planet after the tractor beam had been shut down, and Kertrax announces over the computer system and requests any member of the crew that has any high-ranking member of the crew that have basically any lieutenants, lieutenant commanders, or above that are still remaining on the crew to report to the bridge. And moments later, oh, where's my soundboard? Oh, here we go. Moments later, the turbolift doors open, and Dr. Michael House, the counselor, appears on the bridge. Lieutenant Commander, is that correct, Mallory?
Yeah.
Lieutenant Commander Michael House appears on the bridge. the resident counselor of the USS Sovereign, who has spent the last several months in his office with appointments. So we're going to throw Mallory into the deep end here right off the bat. So Mallory, to start off, can you describe Dr. Michael House for us, please?
Dr. Michael House is the descendant of Dr. Gregory House from a 20th century drama show that aired in the 2000s. He looks like Hugh Laurie, around 45, although he's actually 60. He does walk with a cane, and he comes out of the turbolift griping about getting woken up, and he looks around and says, "Where the hell is everybody?"
And James, would you be so kind as to provide Kertrak's voice?
Sir, we've been waiting for you on the bridge. We need your help, sir.
Does someone have a brain tumor they need removed?
No, sir, you're the only command staff left. I can't control the ship all by myself.
I love how an Endosian alien from Star Trek with 3 arms and 3 legs somehow has a southern accent. I think that's absolutely amazing. Kertrax,
How y'all doing?
Kertrax informs Dr. House that the senior bridge crew have vanished, that they are on the planet. There was a brief moment of communication. The ship was locked in a tractor beam, and now it is not. Also, keep in mind, I'll switch very briefly to the system display, but there is the mysterious starship that you've encountered, that the Vulcanoids are from, is still in orbit and is also unstuck from the tractor beam, and the captain's yacht is still in orbit as well. So Kertrax relays all of that information to Dr. House.
Who took the captain's yacht for a joyride?
Oh, that was the good commander, and that's sort of why we're in the situation. How far behind are you?
You see him put something in his mouth. Can you reestablish communications with the captain?
No, that's why I called you. We're in a very awkward situation.
And Nova, feel free to role play as Ensign Foster, as the security on the bridge.
Okay.
Have you bothered to scan anything?
Well, Ensign Foster, have you bothered to scan anything?
No, sir.
Do that!
Of course.
What
You
is
see why
the,
these aren't the senior staff.
what is the anything that you would like to scan, Ensign Foster?
Scan the planet to see if I can find the crew's life signs. See if I can locate where the crew is at.
Okay.
Try and locate a normal accent.
This isn't beta ships. This is just the B crew.
Good evening. How are you doing?
Beta shift. Do you have Ensign Foster's character sheet?
I'm bringing it up right now.
Okay, great.
There it is.
I will also bring it up.
If memory serves, there's 2 security stations on the Sovereign class, right?
So the one that Ensign Foster at is the one that the chief security officer usually sits at, and then the one right below it is the one that Ensign Foster usually sits at. So for our purposes, yeah, I'm not sure what the official layout is of the bridge.
I'm going to the other one.
Okay. You should be able to drag your token to wherever you would like to go.
Would that be the right one?
No, it's actually over here. This one.
Need to jiggle my windows around here a second.
That one right there. I just moved you to
Perfect.
it.
All right. So Ensign Foster. So you're scanning for life signs on the planet, correct?
Yes.
So that would be a. Oh, you know what? I need to bring up. I need to bring up the ship. The ship. The. Oh, come on, really? That's funny. Not really, but all right. There we go. Okay. So the so bring up the ship one. Bring up that. Okay. So Ensign Foster will be doing a. Let's see. Oh wow, their science and medicine is both a 1. Well, I guess it doesn't really
Yes.
matter. So we'll do a science control with a difficulty of 2, and the ship can assist with sensors and science, and they get a +1 to sensors. And that's about it. So that will give you 3 dice to start. 1 for the ship, 2 for Ensign Foster. You guys currently have 3 momentum, and I currently have 16 threat. And it is a difficulty of 2, science control.
So am I going to be going ahead and rolling the third die, or are you going to have one of the others do that?
I realized that there's some rules where a player doing a skill check can re-roll the ship die. So I think going forward we'll have, and I think that the ship die actually counts towards the 5 max dice. I will double check on that, but
That's how I've always ran it.
so I think going forward we'll have the person doing the task roll the ship die also.
Okay.
I'd have thought it's a separate roll if it's got separate stats.
That's why I'm gonna double check on if it hits the limit. But there are some characters have certain talents that allow them to re-roll the ship die during a task, and it makes more sense that the player doing the task is the one that uses that ability than someone else, if that makes sense. So.
Okay, so Foster's control plus science is an 11.
Yeah.
What is the ship's number?
The ship's science sensors is an 11 plus a 3, which includes the +1 from the refit. So that's
okay. So
14.
I got a 9, 10, and 15, which means the 15 is trash.
9, a 10, and a 15. Okay, so 2 successes, and that actually completes the task. All right, great. So you punch in. You punch in the on the console to scan the planet for the life signs of the crew. There's a lot of interference. The planet is basically sucking itself down to the center very slowly. There's a lot of energy being dispersed that's interfering with the sensors. You are able to pinpoint the structure that they are in. You're able to pinpoint the structure that they are in.
There's way too much interference to get a clear reading. I've got the structure they're in, but the planet's pulling itself apart. It's collapsing.
Is there any way we can beam them out of there?
Can I use my medicine to use the sensors to try to get an emergency transporter lock on him just by looking for specific stuff like from the transporter buffers?
You can do anything you want.
I'd like to do a daring medicine roll then.
Well, I will tell you what the rule is, but
Oh, okay.
we'll call it a daring medicine. So you are going to try to use the your knowledge, your medical knowledge, as a way to pinpoint their locations biologically with the transporters.
Yeah, since supposedly it always stores a buffer pattern.
And use that. Okay. So that will be a. Yeah, I'll let you do a medicine daring on that. And that is going to be a difficulty of 3. Do you have any focuses you want to use for that?
I don't really have one that applies, I don't think.
Let me just pull up your sheet real quick because it's new. That's correct. The ship can assist you with medicine sensors. And yeah. So the ship can assist you with medicine sensors. That's a 13 total.
And can I use my bold medicine and give you 2 threat?
Oh yeah, you can do that, all right. All right, so you're giving me 2 threat. That brings it up to 18. And what does that do? That gives you.
And by one more die by giving you threat, and I can re-roll one of them.
Gotcha. All right, so that's going to give you. So House is rolling 3 dice. The ship is rolling 1.
No, I was going to roll 4 and give you 2 threat.
Isn't it more threat, more dice?
It is. Whenever you attempt a task with medicine and you buy 1 or more. Okay, so if you're buying 2 dice from me, that's a total of 3 threat. 1 for the first one, 2 for the second one.
Okay. That fits with my reckless nature.
Okay. If you get snake eyes, we'll be very happy.
I think we'll be tuning in next week to a different crew.
I got 3 successes. One of them was a natural 1, and the failure was a 19.
Ooh.
Okay.
As
I
the rest
don't
of the crew, the USS Sovereign collectively unclenches.
I think you're safe from a complication. So, so the 1 does that. So the 2 successes from the 1 is that. Are you counting that in the 3, or did you actually get 4 successes?
I'm sorry, I did not roll the ship.
Oh, roll the ship.
16.
Okay, so nothing from the ship, and then you got. So you. 3 of the
I got
dice.
3 successes total. One of them was had the little Starfleet dot on it.
Okay, so and the other 2 dice were also successes.
No.
Oh, just one. Okay, so 3 total. Gotcha. Okay, so great. You you sit down. You use all of your medical knowledge to using the buffer, using what you know about the crew, and you are able to locate some of the crew, lock onto them with the transporter, and beam them aboard. Oh my god. Where are you beaming them to?
Directly to the bridge if I can.
Great. So you get Trailar, who is unconscious. You get Sovek, who is not unconscious, and you get Hassar.
Okay, look at Sovek and say, Exec, would you please take over from this fine young man?
Very well. Status?
I'd
Oh.
say we're screwed.
He's not wrong, sir. We've only been able to get you, and we can't seem to get the rest of the crew.
Are you still detecting them?
Foster?
Whatever I was able to get on my panel, can I put it over on Foster's so somebody more technically adept can continue?
Sure. So House sends the information over to the security, the chief security console, and it's pretty clear. You now have the room where they're located in the structure, and it's just the signals are fluctuating to the point where the transporter just cannot get solid lock. So you pretty much know where they are. It's just that the transporter itself cannot get a proper lock. By the way, Trailer is unconscious on the floor.
Oh, that's Lance. Okay.
Very well. Can we get any communications through to them?
No, as I said, it's dead. We tried.
If we can't beam them up, we will have to send a shuttle down to pick them up.
Oh yeah, speaking of shuttles, what happened to the captain's yacht?
Now is not the time. In fact, can you beam me to the commander's boat?
Can we? I don't know.
Would you like me to do it?
Well, I would rather like someone to do it, yes.
Okie dokie, I can do it. I'm pretty good with transporters.
Permission to come along?
Try.
By the way, Foster, watching this interaction, slowly goes back to their panel, seeing Lieutenant Hassar. They very gingerly sort of motion that the console is now yours, Hassar, and backs away to their panel.
But yeah, I guess it will be down to me to rescue everyone from a crumbling planet.
Kertrax also, now that Sovek is there, takes over at the con.
Sir, I don't mean to get sassy at all, but isn't the whole reason we're here sort of your fault?
You see Sovek just stand there for a moment and take in a deep breath. And then actually, yeah, who am I going to leave in charge? I think I'm going to leave Lieutenant Hassar in command of the bridge. I'm going to go to the transporter room. if needs be, I'm going to beam myself to the commander's boat.
Permission to tag along in case there's injuries, and the doctor seems to be occupied.
Oh, very well.
Okie dokie, boss.
Oh yeah, we do have, if need be, we do have our backup doctor available. Dr. Jamal.
Another one with an accent.
The German Einar from Andoria. All right. So, does anybody want to do anything else before you two leave?
Say a quick prayer.
All right.
Oh,
so
one quick thing before I leave. What's the status on the other vessel? Are they still staying in orbit, or are they moving off? Or attempting a rescue of their own?
I look at Kurtrex and say, "There's another vessel."
Oh yeah, I get it. Have you not been paying attention?
Oh, we really are Starship competent today. Okay, will somebody please run a scan of the other vessel?
I'll take care of it.
Thank you.
So that will be.
This is Hassar, not Foster.
Yeah. I assumed that
Okay.
that you were
You
back.
could tell from the weariness in the voice.
Join Starfleet, they said. It'll be fun, they said.
All right, so that'll be a we'll do a security reason check for that. A difficulty of 1.
Okay, security reason.
Yeah. And the ship can assist with security sensors, which is a 14 total. And also, when you're rolling the ship die, please roll it separately from your character dice, obviously, so we know which
Okay.
is which.
Yeah, that's why I asked before, because I just rolled all
Yeah.
3 of them together. I didn't think about that. All right.
Sovek is now tapping his foot impatiently.
Security reason. That's a 5 and a 15, so the 15 is trash. 13's my number there. And then the ship rolled an 18.
And any focuses that you can apply?
Would the closest thing I can see would be shipboard tactical systems, but other than that, no.
Yeah. All right. Well, you got your 1 success. So you punch in and do a scan of the other vessel, and what comes through on your screen is actually quite concerning. The other ship is slowly being dragged towards the planet by the gravitational forces, and they do not appear to be engaged in any kind of a rescue mission. They actually appear to be struggling to escape the gravitational force of the planet as the planet is collapsing in on itself.
Commander, the other ship, it appears to be being pulled to the planet. It doesn't look like they can escape.
Interesting.
Shall
well,
I hail
Lieutenant,
them?
I'm sure I can leave this in your capable hands. And walks into the turbolift doors. As in, like, into the turbolift, not literally.
Okay, well, smash. I don't have a thud but sound effect, but we'll go thud. Then they open, and Sovek steps in, and Dr. House steps in, so they leave the bridge, leaving Lieutenant Hassar in command.
And Lieutenant Wynn just lying on the floor.
Yeah. Just,
I'm gonna win some medical attention. No? Yes? Okay.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah.
While that's happening, Hassar, is there anything that you would like to do?
Hail the ship.
Okay. Let's see. Where's my hail button? Oh my god. I need to organize these sound effects better. Do I not have... Oh, there it is. Channel open.
Sovereign to Vulcanoid ship. Do you read us?
No response.
Are you in need of assistance?
No response.
Lieutenant Kurtrix,
Yellow.
slap a tractor beam on that ship. See if you can pull it out.
Okie dokie.
Bridge
All
to
right.
sick bay.
Yeah.
9.
Oh. Dr. Commander Wynn is here on the bridge unconscious. He fell unconscious when we were down on the planet and we got transported back up here.
Oh no, I will see to it soon.
Thank you.
For the sake of plot, we'll fast forward a little bit and assume that a medical team came, grabbed Traylar, and took him down to sickbay. So he is resting comfortably and being treated in sickbay by Dr. Jamel.
Okay, let's try this tractor beam. I'm ready.
All right, that is going to be
And I'd just like to say, please state the nature of your avian emergency.
All right, so Kurtrax from the con station is going to attempt to put a tractor lock on the ship. So that is going to be an engineering control with a difficulty of 4.
Okie dokie. Just before I do this, I'm just gonna say a prayer to Ahrimane. Here we go.
The ship can assist with an engineering.
Can I use one of my
Weapons?
focuses?
We'll say engineering weapons. So that's a total of 12. What are your focuses, Kurtrax?
I have computers, I have transporters and replicators, and I have multitasker.
Sure. I'll let you use multitasker because technically you're also
Keeping
piloting
up
the
that
ship
accent.
and probably keeping it from falling into the planet at the moment.
Okie dokie. Can I buy a dice?
You can buy with momentum. You can afford 2 dice, up to 2 dice.
Can I buy 2 dice?
You can spend all of your momentum and buy 2 dice. Yes,
Okie dokie.
Isn't that all of our momentum?
that is all of your momentum. Yes.
Better
And
roll good.
19 threat, too.
So that is 4 dice for Kurtrax and then 1 die for the ship.
Okay, that's 3 successes. Was it more? 3 successes? What was it again? It was a control
Difficulty of-
science, yeah?
Engineering control.
Engineering control. So that's 14. that was 3. Let's see if I can get one more. Yes, 4 successes.
4 successes. Okay. So your 3 hands very busily tap on the console. You're able to get a targeted area of the ship while you're also maintaining the altitude of the Sovereign from getting closer to the planet. And just as you're about to get a tractor lock, the entire Sovereign shakes as I spend 2 threat.
Oh,
And the planet decreases in size about 3% all at once and sends out a massive gravitational shockwave. And the tractor beam is no longer able to function because of the gravitational interference from the planet. So,
Commander Hussar, we got a problem. We got a big problem.
the ship also is now going to be strained a little, so you will be losing 1 power to maintain the distance from the planet. With that, let's cut to Commander Sovek and Dr. House. You guys, before the gravitational shake, you guys get down to the transporter room, you get yourselves beamed over, and you materialize on the well, you disappear from the transporter pad on the Sovereign, and then you materialize on the captain's yacht, commander's boat, whatever you want to call it. And just as you materialize, there is this gravitational shake, and the red alert starts to go off inside the captain's yacht, indicating that the gravitational forces are starting to affect the captain's yacht also.
Okay, I immediately take the pilot's seat, and I'm going to, if it's necessary, plot a course, but otherwise I'm going straight down to the planet, to the last known, to where I beamed up from, to try and rescue everyone.
Sure. That is going to be a...
you DC'd.
What's that?
Mallory did. Mallory DC'd.
So that is going to be well, we'll get to that in a second. Mallory can't hear me, can he?
No, he's... Hold on.
It sure would be nice to have some momentum.
Hey, you're lucky.
But that ain't gonna stop me.
I only just got the 4 successes. Okay, I'd like to state we'd be in a much worse situation because I had 18, 18, and then I really need those extra dice. So you're very lucky.
We'll give Mallory a moment to try to get connected again. Actually, why don't we do this? Let's take like a 5-minute break if anybody needs it, and then we'll come back when Mallory comes back. Oh, Mallory is back. So let's take a 4 or 5 minute break real quick if anybody needs anything, and then we'll come back and pick up on the captain's yacht. Okay?
We're going to take this moment to get from a word from our sponsors. Remember to pick up some Pride One Armada merch now. You can
Oh, we
get
should
some of
do
our
commercials.
many awesome t-shirts, hoodies, and also extremely cool mugs. So stay tuned for some exciting new merch coming to our store very, very soon. Also go check out www.prideto1ml.com where you can get some excellent items for supporting us. Also go subscribe to our YouTube channel, Priority 1 Armada over on YouTube, and at P1 Armada over on TikTok and Twitter. You can also enter some giveaways on Twitter to win keys for Star Trek Online, but also some more physical items coming in the future.
I hope
We'll
it
be
all
right
gets
back.
bleeped as a swear word.
Number 1, the Lodge.
Do you have problems with dental floss? Well, never mind, because James's patent dental hygiene thingamabob floss is just what you need to start your day.
It's not going to make a difference, but I am curious. Mallory, how's your piloting? I just want to see how stupid Sovek's being.
My con is a 2.
What's is it control con generally for piloting?
So it'll either be a con control or a con daring.
Okay, how's your control, Mallory?
My control is 9.
Oh, okay, then it's fine. It's fine. We
My
have
daring
the
is
same
2.
skill at piloting.
9.
Because my con is a
9.
1, but my control is a 10, and my daring's an 8. So this is gonna go splendidly. Because Sovek is not in the right frame of mind.
So it's fine.
I was going to ask, have you ever flown out?
I mean, I have previously requisitioned this craft, so presumably I can successfully pilot it. But I don't think I've technically had to roll for
You
it.
stole
So
my stuff. Touched my stuff.
you were basically dead at the time. It's fine.
Thief.
And in fact, you're only alive because of things I did. So what I'm saying is, you owe me more than, a crummy captain's yacht.
Look, all I'm saying is be glad you're on the way to pick up an engineer.
Oh, yeah, I'm planning on getting this thing down for certain. I'll worry about getting back up again later.
I'm manning whatever station where I can try to do what I did on the bridge again if need be.
Yeah, you should probably be concerned at how clearly non-normal Sovek is being right now. Like shouting at the ensigns and.
I mean, I'm just assuming it's because Sovek hasn't had enough sleep.
Well, he's had a long fucking day. Like, according to my sheet, I used half of my stress last adventure, and I'm assuming that's still true because it's still technically the same. So yeah, this is gonna be.
That is true. That is true.
It's gonna be some bum squeaky flying, as we say.
Oh my god. Whew. All right, you ready, James?
I'm ready.
All right. All right, we are back. Thanks for sticking with us. So before we went to the break, Sovek and Dr. House have beamed over to the captain's yacht, or commander's boat at this point, I guess. And Sovek has taken the station, the pilot station, the con station. Dr. House has taken the station next to him to assist, and they are heading down to the planet. So that is going to be a and let me just check my notes here. So that is going to be a engineering control. Sorry, con control. There's a con control. I'll let you do daring if you want to do some daring maneuvers, but I'm assuming you'd rather.
No, that's not
Okay.
helpful.
So that is
Engineering would be helpful.
That is a con control. It's going to be a difficulty of 2. And the Captain Jot can assist you with a con engines, which is a total of 9. And if Dr. House wants to assist you in some way, he's more than welcome to.
Sure, I'll give it a shot, but you have to refresh my memory on assists.
So you get 1 die, and you tell me how you want to assist him in his piloting.
Drugs.
Oh God, no, no.
You're gonna have something good in one of these hypersprays.
I will try to compensate for whatever gravitational forces that we're trying to do using the thrusters.
Okay.
Or nav computer, so.
So for you, that will be an engineering daring.
Sovek's making a note of the fact that you're not giving him the good stuff.
I failed. Would you like a sedative?
Do you want to buy?
Just offer a ginger ale.
Well, technically, so before anybody rolls, you could also buy dice with threat if you wanted to, but.
I mean, I am half tempted. How much for an extra die? Is it 2 threat for 1?
It's 1 threat for the first one, 2 threat for the second one.
I'll go on. Have an extra threat. I'll just go up to 3 die because
Okay.
it's 2 normally.
Yep.
Okay, I will. Yeah, 3 die. I need 2 successes, and there's also the ship to roll as well. Okay.
Good luck. We're all counting on you.
What am I rolling for the ship?
1 die for the ship, and your target number is a 9. And if you have any focuses, the ship doesn't have.
Yeah, I
any.
don't think I've. Yeah, no, my focus is irrelevant. Okay. So, good news is just technically pass. I got a 9, and then with the ship I rolled an 8.
Nice. Okay. All right. Well, that's
So
all
a
you
total
need.
of 2 successes.
All right. That's your 2 successes. All right. So you pass that. So, the 2 of you sit down. You jump into action. You steer the ship towards the planet. You navigate through. Dr. House is poorly attempting to compensate with the thrusters. Doesn't really hurt you, but doesn't really help you either. You pilot the Captain Jot down. The good thing is that it's not it's slightly easier because the planet's already pulling you towards it. So the trick is going to be landing. So you get down to the right outside the monolith. You can see other monoliths in the background collapsing. And it's clear that whatever's happening to the planet is starting to affect the area around this last monolith that's standing, and the top of the monolith starts to fall down. The ground is crumbling around it. So you gotta get your people out of there pretty quick. And you're able to do as soft a landing as possible right outside the entrance to the monolith. And so you guys set down, and the door in the back of the captain's yacht opens.
Okay, so if I can't see them, I'm scanning to see where the rest of the crew are.
Well, you know where they are because you guys entered through this passageway and went down into the control room.
Oh, they're still in. Okay. Then I'm
Well,
going to.
let's actually cut to the control room, where let's see, Sovik is no longer there, Hisar is no longer there, Trelar is no longer there, and everyone else is there. Okay, and there's also the two Vulcanoids, which I apologize, I don't have tokens for. I don't even think I have temporary ones, do I? Yeah, they didn't give me any temporary ones. So Captain Shepard and Syar, Temna is unconscious on the floor. You've both been shaken, fallen down from the gravitational forces. The other crew members have been transported away, so there's a bit of relief there. And now you guys are stuck in the room on the planet. What would you like to do?
Chief, this place is starting to feel a bit too much like a cheese factory. Help me with Temna. So I pick Temna up and try and put her over my shoulders.
Well, it looks like the captain has Temna in hand, despite asking me to help with her.
And just as he does, he starts falling over backwards with Temna on his shoulder.
All right, so Chief Sarah runs over to try to steady the captain.
So
like grab her legs or something.
Okay, and then all right. So you run over. So you're both picking her up, one at each end.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chief, is there any way that you can create some sort of shield, like barrier thing to stop things falling on our head? Because the last thing we need is for us to get smushed while trying to carry Temna to the exit.
We don't know that they've arrived. We don't know that the captain's yacht is outside.
Correct. They're not yet there.
Yeah.
What's happening with you guys now is happening at the same time as all the other stuff that's already happened.
Okay, well, we still need to get out of here, of this crumbling building. And I'm going to assume the outside's better than in here.
I don't know if there is.
Okay, well, it looks like we're just going to have to hoof it, I'm afraid.
Wait, Captain, I think I can't raise a barrier large enough, but I think it can subvert the defenses subvert this facility's defenses. And so what Sayara is going to try to do is reorient the disruptor fields upwards, so that if anything is falling down on us, it gets disrupted.
Okay.
Well, Chief, if you have an idea, you've always come up with them before, so please do it now.
So that will be an engineering reason with a difficulty of 2.
Do we want to buy more get more threat people?
Of course you do.
If you need
I mean,
it,
at this point.
At this point, we're in for 18. We might as well go all the way.
Yeah, might as well.
Mm.
All right. Let's do 2. So that's another 3 threat.
3. Oh wow. I'm up over 20.
Hey, I don't want to mess up reorienting disruptor fields that I'm about to walk under.
Okay. So that's 2 more dice for you. Do you have any focuses?
Have I got focuses? Let's see. Electroplasmic power systems?
Sure. Part of this is going to be you're going to have to reroute power from the emergency systems because you guys shut down the main systems. So yeah, I'll say that can be used here.
So that is a 4, a 13, a 14, and a 15.
What's your
Reason
engineering?
engineering is a 16.
Oh, 16. Okay. So how many is that?
That's 4 successes.
And what's your engineering?
5.
So that 4 counts as 2.
Yeah, so that's 5 successes.
So 5 successes. All right. So 2 of them are used to pass that. So you immediately, take out the tricorder. You go to the nearest console. You reroute the emergency power from that system, from the emergency batteries, to some of the defense systems that were in there, and you're able to redirect almost like a blanket tractor beam from the defense systems to push any debris up. There's not a ton of emergency power left, so there's definitely still an urgency that you need to get out. You do have 3 floating momentum. Do you want to use any of that, or do you want to bank it?
We could do with another dilithium helmet.
Jeez.
How about we bank it?
Yeah.
All right. So that will get banked. And all right, so you've successfully repelled falling debris for a short amount of time. What would you like to do next, gentlemen?
Right. I think we should probably hoof it to the exit. What do you say, Chief?
Don't look up, sir.
I wasn't going to.
Yeah. As we 2-person carry Temna to the exit, not looking at all the stuff that is about to fall on our heads, and getting disintegrated.
All right, so that will be a joint security fitness. I'll tell you what. Yeah, it'll be a joint security fitness. So basically, you're each doing a security fitness test with a difficulty of 1.
Okay.
Would you say that this is a situation requiring balance?
Yes.
Okay.
What
Can I get
about
extra D20?
what about survival?
Is that a focus or?
Yeah, focus.
Yeah. I'd say you're pretty motivated to survive in this moment.
Yep, I think I'm pretty motivated to survive.
Security fitness.
Security fitness. So that's 3 dice for Syar, and are you any other dice?
Can I buy 1 extra dice?
Yep.
Dice.
So spending a momentum.
Here we go. Yay, 1 success! Yay! Let's see if I get any more.
Exactly 1 success for Sayar.
How many more do I get? I've rolled 1 dice, got 1 success.
You
How many more dice have I got?
you roll 2 more dice.
A 3 and a 1.
So that's 4. That's 4 more successes. Because you're also using your survival.
Yep.
What was the first number?
So I had 6. Then I had 4. Well, I got the 1. God, now you're making me think.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
What's your security number? I should ask you that first.
My security number is 3.
Okay, so it's just 3 successes. It's 3 additional successes, I should say.
Yay!
All right, so you do have 3 momentum. Do you want to do anything with that while you're running, or do you want to bank it?
I think we should. Well, how much do we have left? Let's just quickly check.
You have 2.
No, just bank it. I stole some momentum from everyone earlier. I should probably pay it back.
So you bank the 3. That gives you a total of 5. What's the limit? Is it 6?
6.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I can see.
All right. So, excuse me. You guys grab Temna. You huff it up the hallway, and out towards the exit. Just as you leave the threshold, you hear the power completely shut off. All of the debris that was being held up collapses down onto the floors, and the entire monolith starts to shake. In fact, you see the tip top of the tower fall off and fall down and land about 300 yards from where you're standing. And just as that happens, you hear the sound of the captain's yacht landing behind you. The doors open, and out walks Sovek and Dr. House.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Nice to see you, Captain. Where's the Vulcanoids?
They
right.
Won.
We forgot about the Vulcanoids. Let's just assume.
I thought you were doing something with that.
Let's just assume that they are. You were able. Sorry, that's completely my fault because I don't have the tokens. But let's just assume that.
Yeah. I thought we had put them up on the bridge. I thought they had gotten transported.
Yeah,
So,
they've been beamed up. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's just say that they got beamed up. They're in sickbay too. Let's go with that.
Right,
Let's see.
Captain, we don't have much time.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Let's go.
Okay,
Is
so
it-
it goes back in.
I go to grab a medical tricorder to check out the unconscious one.
Sure.
Hey, Chief.
That's that'll be a medicine reason, difficulty of 0. If you want to roll, or you can just pass it by. You have room for 1 more momentum.
My odds are good. I'll try to get another momentum.
Okay.
Sovek's getting back in the pilot seat.
I rolled a 2 and a 1
A 2 and a 1. Wow.
Nice.
with a target number of 16.
So that is 3 successes, right? Yeah. All right. So you take out the tricorder. You do a scan of Temna. And yeah, I mean, other than a slight contusion, she's probably fine. With a mild stimulant, she'll she'll be fine, and maybe some dermal regenerator and some, maybe a day off, and she'll be fine.
Okay, get her stabilized, and I'll strap her to one of the console seats.
You scanned her so good, James needs to go wake up Sarah.
As a hand reaches across the Atlantic Ocean and strangles me.
Okay, so the moment everyone looks vaguely secure and like I'm not going to cause an injury, I'm firing up the engines and getting us out of here.
So you do have 3 momentum, floating momentum. You can bank 1. Do you want to do anything with the 2 in regards to scanning her? How hard do you want to scan her, I guess, is my question.
You want to count the molecules.
No, Sarah would feel comfortable being scanned that well.
Has it been a while since she's been scanned that hard? No, I'm so sorry. So I'll cut that out. Sorry.
Oh.
We'll just say
James,
you just
you
want to
turn it
bank that and move on. Is that?
Yeah.
Surrogate to a level 3rd base scan.
Not being live has definitely made this spicier.
Yeah.
Oh, please. We would have done this live, too.
All right. All right. So what's happening, Selleck?
I said as soon as everyone looks reasonably secure, Sovek is putting his foot down, so to speak, and firing up the engines, leaving the planet.
Okay. So who is piloting the Captain Jet?
Oh, Sovek's piloting.
Okay.
He's not letting anyone. He's not letting anyone else more qualified get in the way.
Where does Captain Shepard? Where do the rest of you sit down?
Shepard decides to find a nice comfy seat and sit down, and he then turns to Sire and says, "Sire, do you know what cheese is?"
Yes, Captain. As you know, I am very reactive to Earth dairy.
Well, did you ever hear what happened when the cheese factory exploded?
Well, this is fun.
No, sir. I did not hear what happened when the cheese factory exploded.
All that was left was debris. Get it? Down there? Debris? No?
Sovek's checking to see where the nearest phaser is.
So could you please assign me to the engineering panel over there?
Just go. Off you go, Chief. I'm sorry.
I'll set it ops if no one else is doing it.
Hey, Dr. House, how are you doing?
So,
You
I
got
was
my
looking
joke,
there
right?
a few hours ago.
You thought my joke was funny, right?
You had to make an appointment.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go sit over here.
In addition to psychiatry, neurology is especially mine. I'd love to do a brain scan.
Yes. Well, look at the time.
just then,
I'm gonna-
the entire Captain Yacht shakes. Everybody takes their seats, and the and the ship takes off. Presumably, you're heading back to the Sovereign. Is that correct, Selleck?
Yes.
Okay. So that is going to be a con. I guess we'll go with a con control again. And this time it'll be a difficulty of 3.
Okay, I would like to spend momentum to grab an extra die.
Okay.
And I'm also going to use my ability extra effort to lower the difficulty of the task by 1 by adding stress to my character.
Okay.
So I've got 3 die for a difficulty 2. Right?
Yes.
And I'm rolling the ship again as well.
Yeah, which I believe was a 9.
I think so. All right.
Are you sure you wouldn't like that sedative?
If anybody wants to assist, also, you're welcome to do that.
Sire will assist by rerouting and depowering any absolutely non-essential systems to the inertial dampeners.
Okay. So that'll be an engineering control for you.
Okay, Sovek is very efficient. He got the precisely 2 successes he needed.
Okay.
And 1 success from Sire.
Okay, great. So that's going to give you 1 floating momentum. So
after that terrible joke, can I use that floating momentum to put the captain on his ass? Like, pilot the ship just a little extra bumpy when he's standing up.
Absolutely.
That's a great.
Absolutely.
No,
So,
After that, so with Captain Shepard on his ass on the floor of the captain's yacht, that's when the little ding happens and the fasten your seatbelt sign turns on.
Nice.
And they wonder why I never use this thing.
So you sit down. You sit down at the seat. Everybody gets in. You plot a course to take off. The ship starts to ascend, and it's clear that the gravitational eddies have only increased. And you have to use maximum power to get the captain's yacht to lift off. As it's shaking, you start to go up. You notice that Captain Shepard decides to move 1 seat over, thinking that the ride will be a little bit more tolerable from that other seat. As he stands up, you see him out of the corner of your eye, and you just sort of tap your console a little bit and jolt the commander's boat a little bit to the right. Captain Shepard stumbles and ends up falling into Dr. House's lap.
Hi.
Well, now you'll have something to talk about.
How's it going?
Gotta love inertia.
Commander, remind me to call you to my ready room after this. Thanks.
I help the captain back up.
The captain then takes a seat next to Dr. House for fear of trying to walk to the other side of the captain's yacht. So the captain's yacht ascends into the atmosphere through the clouds. As that's happening, out the window, you can see that the planet is really starting to accelerate the amount of self-absorption and the amount that the planet is basically eating itself down. You also, as you exit the atmosphere, you see that the alien ship is getting closer and closer and is actually drawn into all of this that's happening. The fact that the captain's yacht is less mass than the alien ship is probably why it's a little bit easier for the yacht to escape the gravitational forces. You make it back to the Sovereign as you see the alien ship disappear into the atmosphere of the planet as the planet itself continues to be crushed, almost like it's being sucked into some like a gravitational well or a black hole or something. Like the planet's actually collapsing in on itself.
Chief, we need to make sure there's no people on that ship. Is there any way to scan it before it gets destroyed?
I can scan, sir, but at this distance with this power draw,
We need to contact
I
the
hope you can
Sovereign.
think.
I can take us closer if we need to.
Commander, you
I
were
can't
brought
tell
here.
if you were serious or not.
The commander was brought here for a reason, and we're not going to let the other people that were also brought here die too.
I agree with the captain.
Noted
Chief.
scanning, sir.
Thank you. Dr. House, can you contact the Sovereign and ask them to assist?
House to Sovereign.
Which silly voice will it be?
Well, it would be whoever's in command.
Sovereign Hussar here.
What's the situation with the other vessel?
He's getting pulled into the planet. We tried to use the tractor beam to pull it out, but all of a sudden we got hit by a massive gravitational forces.
Sounds like
And did we try the transporters?
It just happened. No.
maybe we should try the transporters.
And we already tried to talk to him. There's been no answer.
Okay, so let's do the scan from the captain's yacht. Oh, it's Lance. Hey, Lance, how's it going?
Hi, Lance.
Just in time for
Welcome.
a daring rescue at the
So,
end.
and what's great is that your character was knocked out at the very beginning of this session, and so has been thankfully was recovered to sickbay, but has been unconscious the entire time and would know not what has been happening. So this is perfect.
Awesome. Sounds like right up my alley.
All right, so let's do Syar's scan from the captain's yacht on the ship, and I'll bring it back onto the screen just so we have a frame of reference. But it is definitely plunging into the center of the planet. So that is going to be a science reason.
Assistance from the yacht.
Yeah. The yacht has a sensors of 7, no science. So your target for that is a 7. And this is going to be a difficulty of 1.
All right. So that is 2 successes from Sayar.
Mm-hmm.
Does the yacht? I don't have the captain's yacht sheet. So does it have a focus and sensors or
No,
any relevant?
no, it doesn't. The yacht doesn't have any bonuses like that.
Okay. Well, that's another success from the yacht, so that's 3 successes total.
3 successes total. Okay, so 2 for that. So it's going to give you 2 floating momentum. So you punch into the console. You do a scan of the ship and what's happening. The gravitational forces are just too great to communicate. The ship is completely unable to pull itself out of the gravitational force, and what else would you like to know from the scan?
Where are the remaining life signs on board the ship?
I mean, a ship that size, they're all over the ship. The ship is full of 2,000, roughly 2,000 personnel.
I'm glad that is someone else's problem to solve. Okay.
You
We
have
should
2 floating
evacuate
momentum.
as many as we can.
You have 2 floating momentum. You can bank up to 1, and you have 1 that can't go anywhere. Do you want to spend it to ask another specific question, or to gain any information?
I'll use bank 1 and use the other one to on gaining information. Do I need to provide another question?
Yeah, ask a specific question.
Would they have? How much energy would they need in order to be able to escape the gravity well? Like what kind of deficit are they working at?
So what you can surmise from the scan is that their power plant efficiency is much greater, and output is not much, but is greater than what you have on the Sovereign. And it is.
Them's fighting words, but okay.
What's that?
Them's fighting words for the engineer, but all right, go ahead.
You're quite impressed that they've achieved the energy levels that they have. Obviously, it's unknown technology, so you're not, aware of how they're producing that energy. But the energy output seems to be greater than what the Sovereign can produce. And from what you can determine, that is probably only 20% of what would be needed to escape the situation that they're in. Yeah.
Sir, they don't have enough power to escape. I'm not certain we have enough power on the Sovereign to assist them even in the best of circumstances.
This is going to sound really insane, and you guys can correct me if you think I'm wrong, but could we not position the captain's yacht in a position closer to their ship, get the Sovereign to lock a tractor beam onto us, then we lock our tractor beam onto them, and we swing the ship out of the gravitational pull, use the gravity itself to give them the power they need to escape it? And if we swing the tractor beam as much back and forth, back and forth, back and forth until we shoot the ship out, we can get out of there.
Is the channel to the Sovereign still open? Like, is Hassar listening to this?
Well, I'd like her to be.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. I never did anything with it.
So communication would come from the Sovereign that they attempted to put a tractor beam on the ship earlier, and that the gravitational forces were too great to be able to do that. So they're in the current state of the gravitational forces, tractor beams are inoperable.
Do we know how much time they have until the ship crashes into the planet, or the planet crashes into the ship, or what have you?
Minutes. They have minutes before the ship is lost.
Sir, if we can't control for the variable of the planet collapse, is there a way that we could? Should we consider halting the collapse or getting rid of the planet entirely?
I'm going to spend 2 threat. As you're having this conversation, the captain's yacht suddenly shudders again to one side, very similar to how Sovek steered it before, which almost knocks everybody out of their seat. And the captain's yacht now has stopped forward momentum and is slowly starting to back up towards the planet.
I look at Sovak and say, "What the hell are you doing?"
Look, I'm doing the best I can under the circumstances.
How close is the captain's yacht to the other ship?
To the Sovereign?
No, the other ship, not to the Sovereign.
They are closer to the Sovereign than they are to the other ship. I mean, the other ship is basically in the atmosphere, hurtling towards what's left of the planet and being pulled in.
Could the Sovereign do we know if the Sovereign could survive if the Sovereign did a nosedive to catch
Captain,
them?
I have a crazy idea.
I'll take it. Any ideas?
Kurtrex, beam them out of there now.
No.
Just you're saying beam the crew out of
Beam the crew out of the captain's yacht.
Of the captain's yacht. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
I'm good with that. We'll just replicate a new one.
So
after they spray painted Commander's boat on this thing, I wanted a new one anyway.
Autopilot the captain's yacht towards the other ship.
So Kurtrax frantically taps with all 3 hands on his console.
Okie dokie.
To beam them over. I'm going to spend 2 more threat. The gravitational forces are just too much, and transporters are no longer operable.
Oh.
Then I guess we're nosediving it, people. Okay, is there any way, since we're now concerned about our own safety, is there any way we can do a slingshot maneuver to get out of this, essentially turning back towards the planet in order to try and gain enough speed and momentum to escape?
You guys can do whatever you want. You tell me what you want to do to get out of this problem.
Trailer. Is Trailer awake?
Yes, Captain, I'm awake.
So, very briefly, we'll cut to the bridge where the doors open and Trailar comes back onto the bridge, recuperated, and I'm assuming you want to take your station?
Move over, Kurtrax.
Okie dokie.
That would also make you the senior officer on the bridge, Trailer. So technically, you would be taking command.
He's 200 years old. He's the most senior no matter what.
Should really be a captain at this point.
Kurtrax, what's the current situation?
The crew are hurtling towards the planet, and 2,000 civilians are also hurtling towards the planet. And it's happening fast, and the planet is crumbling and crumbling and crumbling into a tiny, tiny little mass, and then it's gonna go boom into a big black hole.
By the way, now that we're back onto the Sovereign ship, due to the scene, they lose another point of power. The Sovereign will lose another point of power.
Kurtrax, do you know if the last time before we left space dock, if the captain had his request for old-style grapplers to be reinstalled on the ship completed?
I believe he did.
Let's. So, so hang on. So
Yeah, we all know grapplers rule.
grapplers
They
do
do
rule.
I love grapplers.
I believe I don't know what it is right now, but I just because I want to see where this goes, I will allow you to have purchased grapplers for 3 momentum.
Deal. I'll happily give the Sovereign grapplers for 3 momentum.
Okay.
These are special modern heavy duty grapplers, though.
Fantastic.
These are not necessarily 21st, 22nd century grapplers.
Good.
All right. So also,
got
by the
tiny
way,
little tractor beams at the end.
as Trailer walked onto the bridge, the captain was also calling for him through the open channel. So, is there any exchange that you wanted to do, Captain Shepard, before we move on to whatever this crazy plan Trailer has is?
Now, this crazy plan sounds good, but is there any way that as you are flying past to grapple onto their ship, I don't suppose you could catch us in the hangar bay at the same time?
That is going to be part of what's going to happen.
Well, make it so.
All right. So, Trailar, explain to me. So you have the grapplers. So explain to me what the plan is, and I'll bring up the system map so you can take a look at what the deal is here.
So my plan is to attach the grapplers to the commander's boat, and I'm going to angle the ship towards the gravity well of the planet and go full impulse. Execute a roll maneuver, which will flip the captain's yacht and swing it out of the gravitational pull of the planet, and then I'm going to take the Sovereign past the falling ship and reattach the grapplers to that ship and use the angular momentum to escape the gravity.
He's going fishing.
Okay. You may have to re-explain this to me as it happens. Okay. So,
All right.
The first part is... So, the first thing is
It's kind of maybe has to be 2 parts. First, I need to save the commander's boat.
Okay. So, the first thing is you're turning the ship towards the planet to go get the captain's yacht.
Correct.
Okay. So you're gonna maneuver it. You're gonna shoot the grapplers at the captain's yacht.
Correct. And once they're attached, I'm going to keep moving, and then they basically, momentum will pull it to behind the ship as I'm going forward. I'm going to roll the ship, which will twist the cables, and once the commander's boat has momentum away from the planet, we'll release the grapplers and let its momentum carry it to safety. At the same time, maybe the captain, once he is moving away from the planet, can ignite his thrusters to assist in the maneuver.
Sure. I mean, the commander's boat has all the power it normally has, so you're just trying to speed it up more by turning it towards the planet.
Well, the Sovereign's going to be headed towards the planet.
Right. Okay. Okay. So let's all right, let's do that.
Wait, I can't explode the ship and end the whole show, right? That's not going to happen, right?
Depends on how the dice roll, my friend. Depends on how the dice roll.
Tony did say you can do anything you want.
Season 2 is much shorter, folks.
Mallory, I
The
hope this
GM
episode was fun for you because it may be your your first and your last.
The GM does have a very concerning amount of threats.
Yes.
Okay, so I don't even know where to begin with this. This is crazy. It's amazing. Okay, so the first thing that will have to happen is you need to do the first piloting step. This is going to be a multi arc process here. Okay. So the first thing that needs to happen is you need to pilot the ship to get to the captain's yacht. So that is going to be a con daring with a difficulty of 2. The ship can assist with con engines, which is a total of 13. So you can roll a separate die for the ship.
Somebody else want to do that one?
So we're going to have a long story, but you're going to roll that one. You're going to roll the one. The person who does the task is now also going to roll for the ship for assisting, because there are some talents that that characters can have that allow them to re-roll the ship die. So we're just going to have them roll the dice with that. So just make sure you roll a separate die after your character dice so that it differentiates it. You currently have 3 momentum.
And it has been a while. My focuses will help me do what?
So if you roll under your con in this check, if the dice roll are equal to or less than your con, then they'll count as 2 successes. If a focus applies. So what do you have a focus that would apply?
Flight control systems.
Sure.
All right. And
Also, I'm assuming that Hussar will be the one firing the grapplers, since that's usually a security thing.
Sure.
correct.
All right.
Do not confuse it for the quantum torpedoes.
All right. Before
I
we
will
do this,
consider it a mutiny.
before we do this, I just need to step away for a second. I'll be
Oh
right
no,
back.
not another mutiny.
Are you gonna go
Commander,
shave? Are you
go
gonna go
back.
shave, Tony? My beard's getting out of control. I'm just saying.
Is that some sass I'm hearing from the back of the commander's boat? Do I need to give this thing another roll?
Commander, if you
Because I can
roll,
turn this thing around.
Commander, if you roll my ship again, I will spray paint your face Captain's Yacht. Okay?
I'm not
Okay.
on your ship. I'm on my ship. I found it.
Where is the captain? Kertrax, where's the captain? Or captain, where are you calling me from? The line is still open.
Well, currently we're hurtling towards a planet which is very rapidly becoming a black hole. And I thought I'd take a moment to enjoy possibly my last ever cup of Earl Grey tea. But unfortunately, because the replicators seem to be busted, it's cold. And there's ginger in it for some reason.
Well,
No one
it'll
is-
get
no one
very
is
warm
ever
very
happy
soon if
with
this
the
goes
in-flight
wrong.
Surface. Let me tell you, no one is ever happy with the in-flight surface on this thing.
No one likes tea with redheads in it.
Also, why is there lemon in it? Lemon, it's like a lemon and ginger. I asked for tea Earl Grey hot, and I got lemon and ginger Lensip. Very unpopular.
I'm taking it you didn't make the tea.
Well, no, I said tea Earl Grey hot, and I got this.
Did the
I
person
might
that
have changed some of the replicator settings while I was away.
did the person that
Okay.
handed you the tea say you'll drink it and like it?
All right.
No,
I'm so
the
excited
computer-
about this.
I pressed the button, and the computer literally just said, "Do not press this button again."
If this
Just be
is
glad it's not coffee, considering how your character reacts to coffee.
if this is successful, I
Probably
need
right.
one of the audience members good with CGI to actually, make a video of this.
All right, here we go. So, con
So I
daring.
have my normal 2, and then I'm gonna
Yep.
buy I'm gonna spend 1 momentum for an extra die.
For an extra die, okay.
Yeah, and I'm gonna roll another one for the ship, right?
And then
So
you're
I
gonna
gotta roll 4.
and the ship target number is a 13. Just make sure you roll the ship one separately.
Hold on, I've got I got 2 manual ones and then 2 virtual ones.
Sure.
I'm gonna do the ship first. Ship is a 17.
Okay, so that's nothing. And then you're rolling 3, right?
Correct, which is a 14, a 17, and a 5.
And what's your con number?
Con is 5.
Okay, so that's the 2 successes. And then what's your total con daring?
15.
So I think that's just the 2 successes, right?
I had a 14 and a 17.
Oh, 14. Okay, so you got one more. So you did get 1 extra success. Okay, great. So, you sit down at the con station. You direct Hussar to get ready to load and fire the grapplers. You steer the ship towards the planet, piloting down, and you approach the ship, and you order Hussar to fire the grapplers. So Hussar, that will be a security control with a difficulty of 2.
Security control. Okay, now would shipboard tactical systems apply to this?
Yeah, I'll allow that. And the
Okay.
ship can assist with the security weapons, which is a 13.
Okay. And what'd you say the difficulty was again?
2.
2. Control
Can
security.
Hussar use spend momentum since this is a separate task?
Oh,
no,
do you?
that's not
Sorry,
what-
you
what
had
I was
one.
concerned.
You had 1 extra momentum left. Do you want to bank it, or do you want to? Did you want to fly better?
No, mine can be banked.
So there is 3 momentum available.
No, take the point of threat.
Is
Will
that?
allow me to bolt
Yeah,
security that will allow
yeah,
me to reroll.
Okay.
All right, so 3 dice for the roll. Control security of 14. Oh, how beautiful! There is 1 delta there. It's a 19, so that one's no good, and then an 8.
So 3
And
successes.
then that's 3 from that, and then the ship die. Oh crap! That's a complication. I got a 20.
What you got there? Oh, a 20. Oh, my favorite
Yeah.
number in this game.
Wait, can
But
you
she
re-roll
rolled
that?
a 1
Wait, can
because
she
Oh, wait.
re-roll that one?
No, she can only re-roll her
No.
dice.
I could re-roll the 19
And get 2 complications.
and get 2 complications. Yep. What the heck? No,
That
that's a
is what I-
9. That's a 9. That's another success.
Okay, so 4 successes.
1 complication.
So that's going to give you
Oh.
2. That's going to give you 2 extra momentum. You could spend that. I think you can spend 2 to negate a complication.
You
Do it.
can.
Do it. Do it. Do it.
God's sake, do it.
Do it. Do it. Do it.
Brew it.
I've got the sneaking suspicion, though, that I do it. With your big pile of threat there, you just reinstate it.
I
You
am kind
you
of
never
tempted
know
to hold
until you
on to
try,
our
I
limited
guess.
momentum.
Yeah, no, but aren't you? You know, you could bank it and then it could be useless, or you could not bank it and then negate something.
Yeah, but don't forget, it's just a complication. We'll still succeed generally at the task. It's just not going
succeed
to
at
be
a cost.
quite as we planned.
But the
Yep,
complication
succeed at a
could be the
cost.
planet goes to supernova somehow and we all die. So
And we'll deal with it.
You know, I have to
Really?
say that I have some problem with giving him ideas.
Oh, I know. You're not giving me any ideas. As soon as she rolled the complication and I told her there's 2 extra momentum, I know exactly what's going to happen. I've already made up my mind what's going to happen, but she needs to decide if she's going to spend the 2 to negate the complication.
Tony, this is too cool to not let it happen. Just come on.
do it.
I just need to know. I need to know if she's spending the 2 momentum to negate the complication. That is where we are.
Be a rebel. Hold on to it.
No, please.
How much do we have?
You currently have 3 banked, and you have 2 floating that you can use to negate the complication.
Oh, in that case, do it. I thought we had a lot less momentum. I thought it would
that's why I
literally
said
be
bank
all
it.
of our momentum left.
No, that's why I said to do it.
Okay, fair.
All right, negate the complication.
Okay. So we will
Let's
spend
see
the
if
2.
I am
Spend the
shoulda
2
ended up
momentum to negate the complication.
so right about this.
And so you target the Captain Jot. You fire the grapplers, and they both hit. You lock on. So far, everything is going as planned. All right, Trailar, what's the next step in this crazy scheme?
Well, I should be at full speed because part of my maneuver was going to full impulse.
Okay. So you are now you're heading closer to the planet. You've locked on to the Captain's yacht. And then what happens?
Well, I'm going to execute a roll maneuver.
Okay.
Signature roll.
And once the commander's captain's boat yacht is in the right spot, whoever, I don't care what you want to call it, let's just save it. Once it's in the right, has the right momentum and angle, then Hisar should release the grappler so it gets flung to safety. At that time, Captain, I'm going to need you to fire your thrusters to carry your momentum away from the planet.
I will get the commander to do that. Commander, do that.
Okay, so
yes, Captain.
So you're going to do that maneuver. So first, Trailar is going to do the maneuver to get the commander's boat into position. So that is going to be this is the roll and tuck maneuver, I believe.
Yeah, that's good. It's going to be the Trailar maneuver once we're done.
The Trailar maneuver.
I do not like the name roll and tuck.
I thought the maneuver you did with the Packlids rescuing Sahir was.
Oh, was that the Trailar? This will be the wind maneuver then.
The wind maneuver. Nice. All right, so let's do another con daring check. This time it's getting a little bit more difficult. We're up to difficulty of 3. And the ship can assist with con engines, which is a 13.
Will I need to roll anything to time with the engines on the commander's boat?
No, because I think what's happening is he's doing the roll maneuver and the pulling in this and getting to max speed in this maneuver.
Okay.
Once you're at max speed, then you'll do your thing.
All right. Will Hussar need to roll for releasing the grapplers, considering that's just a release of the button?
Well, let's take this one step at a time and see if you even get to that point. I mean, for all we know,
Okay.
you could fail this miserably and you tear the captain's yacht to pieces. So instead of rolling to release the grappler, she may be rolling to emergency transport, so
All
they
right,
don't
so
suffocate.
I have 2 die, and then I'm going to spend momentum for another one.
Okay.
And then I got another 4th one for the ship.
Yep.
And then I can give you a point of threat for another one.
You'd have to
For
give me
fifth?
2. So your
What do you
second,
think, Captain?
the
Do
second die either costs 2 momentum or 2 threat.
Or I could just use up the rest of the momentum if you want, Captain. Do you want
Do
me to
it.
give you more threat or use the momentum?
I mean, it's your
Momentum for now.
decision, Lance. You don't have to
Well,
ask him.
I'm looking for advice from a teammate.
Okay.
too.
All right.
What do you guys
Lu-
say?
Lose the momentum. He's already got so much threat.
Yeah, because if we're going to use momentum later down the line and we don't have it, we can also just spend threat.
Hmm.
Okay. We're going to use the last 2 momentum for a 5th.
Okay. And now you're at your max dice. All right, so just be sure to roll the ship die separately.
All right, I'm going to roll the ship first. You said we need a better 13 for this one, right?
13 or less.
It's a 1.
Okay. So you're already at 2 successes. Trailar, always coming in clutch at the end of a mission.
All right, and I'm 15 for con daring. I've got
Okay.
a 17, so that's nothing. I've got an 8, that's another success. I've got a 2, that's another success, and a 19.
Okay, and the 2, I'm assuming, will apply your focus, your flight control focus. That'll be 2 more successes.
Oh yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, so that'll be a total of 4 or 5 successes. I've lost count.
So we had a 1 for the ship.
Yeah.
And then I have the 2, which is the double.
Yeah.
And then I have an 8.
Okay, so
and
that's
a
5.
17. Yep.
Okay, so 5 successes. All right. So good news. You have 2. You've gotten back that momentum that you just spent. So.
And then I'll bank it since
Okay.
my part is done right now.
All right. So you again, precision flying on Trailar's part. Once the grapplers are locked on, you speed up the ship to get up to full speed towards the planet. You even kind of swing the ship around so that when it pulls on the captain's yacht, it's not as rough. The captain's yacht gets pulled behind the ship. You start to do your roll so that now there's a little bit of a pull up away from the planet for the captain's yacht. And now you give the signal to Sovek and to Hussar that now is the time to release the grapplers and to punch it with the full impulse in the captain's yacht. So this will
I
be
choose a moment to turn around to the captain and say, "Is everybody on the command staff insane?"
Yeah, we haven't had a counselor for a while.
We prefer to call ourselves mentally challenged.
I'm challenged by everyone.
What do you expect from a bird species? This is all fun.
All right, so Hussar will go for you first. Can you roll a single d20 and tell me what the result is?
All right. It's 19.
Okay, that's okay. It's okay. Selleck, can you roll a single d20 and tell me what the result is?
I was gonna make a joke about lying and it being 1, but no, it's legitimately 1.
It's a 1. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So the timing is off by a lot. So Sovek punches the engines before Hisar releases the grapplers. And as you do that, it actually reduces the amount of thrust that you get as you leave. So you are not at the full speed that you thought you would be as the captain's yacht is launched away from the ship.
Okay, can I take this puppy to warp? And just warp away from the planet?
I mean, that might be an idea. Do it.
All right. You can do whatever you want.
I'm taking this puppy to warp.
All right. So you are going to enter warp. All right. So that is going to be a con daring with a difficulty of 3.
Okay. 1 second. Let me just read the wording of this.
The yacht can help,
Okay.
which has engines of 7 and con of 2, so that'll be a 9.
Difficulty 3. Okay.
Difficulty 3.
Okay. So, this seems sort of perfectly timed. Just before I make this roll, so as I'm doing this, I'm going to just say out loud, I recommend someone replaces me shortly, because I'm going to spend my last, all of what's left of my stress to reduce the difficulty of this task. And the way it's worded, it suggests that the effects happen after the roll. But I am assuming I'm going to collapse as soon as I do this,
Sure.
whether I succeed or not.
What's the wording? What does it say?
When you attempt a task, you may reduce the difficulty of that task by 1 to a min. Oh, by 1. Okay. However, once the task is completed, you reduce your maximum stress by 2 for the remainder of the current.
And what's that called? What's that?
Extra effort.
Extra effort. Okay. Sure. So that's going to bring it down to a 2.
Yeah. Since I can only do it by 1, it's irrelevant. I still have stress left. Okay. So I'm going to, in addition to that.
It reduces the difficulty by 1.
Yes.
And then how much stress do you take?
It says 2. I've got 4 stress left.
Oh, you got 4 stress. Oh, okay. So you're not going to pass out.
No. I thought I could spend 2 stress for every difficulty. I can only do it once.
I see. Yeah. You can only,
Okay. So it's difficulty 2. We've got 2 momentum.
We've got 2 momentum.
Can I spend a momentum and a threat for an extra die? So 2 momentum and a threat for 3 die. For 2 die.
1 threat and then 2 momentum. Yes.
So yeah, that's 4 die, difficulty 2. All right, let's see what I've done to this.
And then roll 1 for the ship. Con daring.
Did you say con daring?
Yes.
Not con. Okay, that changes things.
Daring.
It was a difficulty 3, right?
2 after you're taking stress. Yeah.
Sovek gets once again just enough. He gets 2 successes.
Okay. As soon as you realize that you may not have enough momentum to get out, you decide to take the ship to warp. So you punch in the heading, and you just get the heck out of there. I'm going to spend
And if you don't mind, just for the sake of it, I'm going to say at this point, just Sovek collapses. You know, he has done a lot of lowering the stress of tasks, and on top of the fact that he's been, you know, not in his right mind, I would say this is the last straw, and you know, this
Sure.
is he done.
All right, so the captain's boat commander yacht leaves the system. I'm going to spend 2 threat that when the warp field forms and you take off, the residual displacement from the ship, in combination with the gravitational effects of the planet collapsing in on itself, jolts the Sovereign off of its course as it's heading towards the planet. And now the ship is heading into the atmosphere at a much steeper angle than Trailar had initially planned, which will make the next maneuver one additional difficulty. No, actually, I'm sorry. Well, let me double check that. Why don't I have that? Yes, it'll make it an additional difficulty higher, which the next difficulty was going to be 4, so now the next difficulty will be 5. So, Trailar, the captain's yacht is safe. Congratulations. They've also made your job a little bit harder in what you're about to do. So, tell me what the next step of this plan is, now that the Sovereign is hurtling towards the imploding planet.
How far into the atmosphere am I?
You are just entering the
just
atmosphere and
scraping the top.
But you're pointed down further than you wanted, so it would be very difficult to avoid entering the atmosphere at this point. Meanwhile, the other alien ship is quickly approaching the imploding planet.
Where is the chief engineer?
On the yacht that just left.
Shoot. Wait, is Farnsworth grandson washing? Because I need to swear. All right. So I think what I need to do then. So basically, I'm pointing more towards the planet than I was on my original trajectory. The nose.
Correct.
All right.
By the way,
well,
I'm going to pause. I just want to pause real quick. We're running a little bit longer than I had planned. Do you guys want to keep going, or do we want to pause here and pick it up next time?
We can keep going if need be.
We gotta wrap this up. We can't leave this here for God's sake.
No.
It's all good.
All right, let's go. So yes, your angle is a little steeper than you had planned.
Are there any do we have any hatches on the ventral side of the saucer section?
Oh yeah, there's tons of hatches. There's escape pods, there's hatches, there's all kinds of stuff. And you're currently inverted, right? Like you've rolled the ship, so you're facing the dorsal side is facing.
I feel that move is completed.
So you've done a complete 360 barrel roll.
Yep.
Do a barrel roll.
That's right. So
right.
so to me, the ventral side of the ship is facing the planet.
Okay,
the ground
great.
below.
Okay.
So I want to fire the ventral thrusters on the saucer section and blow any hatch. Obviously, I want to clear out the area, but blow any hatch to vent atmosphere so I can get the thrust of the gas leaving the ventral side of the ship to lift the nose up to where it needs to be.
Okay. And just to be clear, your overall goal is you're trying to get down to the alien ship to then.
Yeah, I need to. Well, first I need to right the direction that we're going to get us
Right,
back to the
right.
angle I need to have Hisar grapple
Sure.
the falling ship.
All right. So that do you is that something you want to do, or do you want to order somebody else to do the hatch stuff while you're flying?
What kind of a task would that be?
I'll let you know as soon as I know who's doing the task.
It's a trap.
What do you think, Hisar? What would that be? Well, if you were to guess.
Part of me thinks maybe engineering.
It could be ops or con. That could be con. What do you think? I have con daring at 15, and I have engineering 2, and I have control at 9. I don't know. What do you think?
Could it be done all as one roll?
I think this will be a separate task than me flying past the other ship. Is that right, Tony?
Yeah, I mean it's they're two separate things because you're accessing two different control systems, so it's
Okay, 2 separate tasks.
yeah.
All right, I'm gonna have Hisar do it.
Okay. So you let Hisar know to blow the hatches, fire the as you fire the thrusters and pilot the ship. Okay. So
Right.
Hisar, this is going to be an engineering control.
Okay.
With a difficulty of 1.
That's not bad. Okay, so that's a 12. I roll a 19
And the ship can assist
and
you with
1.
and you can roll for the ship too with an engineering structure roll, which is a 12, if you want.
Okay. And that's a 3.
Okay, so 3 successes.
3 successes.
Okay, great. Do you want to spend any of that momentum, or do you want to bank the extra 2?
Bank.
Okay. All right. So, yep, you immediately punch in to your system to vent the hatches. So any ones that you can vent that don't have any personnel, you vent, you blow the hatches, and then Trailar, again another con daring to right the nose of the ship. So this is going to be con daring with a difficulty of 5.
Ooh, wow. Does the ship assist me on this too?
Yep. And again, that is con engines, which is a 13 for the ship.
Didn't that momentum get used up?
What momentum?
Oh, sorry. On my screen, I see 2 momentum on the.
Yeah, because Nova just rolled 3 successes on a difficulty 1, so she had 2
yep,
momentum.
sorry.
So she banked it.
So I'm definitely gonna buy. I'm gonna spend a point of threat to get another one.
Yep.
And then I'm gonna spend the other 2 momentum for another die.
Okay.
So that gives me 5 to roll.
Yep.
Correct? It's a max. I
Yep.
can't get any more than that.
Correct. You could buy another one for yourself and not roll the ship one.
But what would I have to spend to do that?
You'd have to spend 3 threat.
Team. Because
Spend as much threat as you want.
My
What's
control,
your-
my daring con is 15. So, and I need to get 5. So, and it's the ship die is only going to be worth 13. So,
Don't break the ship.
Brighten it up.
Yeah, that's
All right.
2 extra points where you could work with.
yep, let's do that.
So what are you doing? You're
Yeah, that 5th die is going to be mine, not the ship's.
okay. So you're gonna spend the 3.
Yep.
All right. Great. Love it.
Oh
Love it.
boy.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Hang on. Just give me 1 second. I need to cue up the explosion noise. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
Can you throw in a Wilhelm scream if necessary?
The only scream I have is this one.
Yeah, that works.
All right. Here we go.
Got a 10 and a 2 and an 18 and an 18 and a 17. So those 3 did not hit. Only 2 successes.
But the with your flight controller focus, that's 2 successes for that one, right? So you actually got 3.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because that was a 2. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So 3 successes on a difficulty of 5.
What are the talents do?
Their specific
or not
abilities.
talent, but or values. Did those impact? Can I use anything there?
You would have
If
to.
you really want to spend a point of determination.
You would have to use it before you roll, though. That's the only thing. But if you could apply a value to the situation, it allows you to spend. You have 1 point of determination per mission, and you could spend that to do various things. The most popular of which is to purchase an additional die that is an automatic 1, so 2 successes. But that also counts as one of the 5, and you would have to do that before you roll your dice.
Well,
the other thing you could do is you could you could do moment of inspiration. You could reroll any number of your d20s. So do you have a value that applies in this situation?
Laughs in the face of danger, drops ice cubes down the vest of fear.
I would
What have you lived to 200?
I would allow that, sure.
So I can roll my 3.
So you can re-roll any number of d20s. But so on your character sheet, you should have 3 boxes next to determination. So basically, you would like erase any of those. So it refills at the beginning of the next mission, but basically now you have no more determination. And when you do your level up in between this mission and the next, you have to cite that value because you used it.
All right, let's re-roll. I got another 2, a 10, and a 16.
So that's 4 more successes?
The 16 isn't, but the 10 is a success, and the 2 is below the 5 on my con. So
Yeah,
Is that-
so that's 3. So it's three from the first 2 dice, 3 from those 2 dice, so that's a total of 6.
with a difficulty
Woo.
of 5.
Of 5. Yeah. All right. So
You didn't break the ship.
here's what happens.
Not this time.
You technically have 1 extra momentum. Do you want to spend it to do anything, or do you want to bank it?
I want to suspend it so this comes out better than what you're planning.
Oh, I have enough threat to make that not happen.
Mhm.
I'll
want me to
send
bank
all
it?
the
Style
trouble.
points.
You guys
I'll
want me to
save
do
you the
that
trouble.
or just bank it?
Don't spend it to try to stop me from doing anything, because you don't have enough.
All right, just bank it.
Okay.
Bank it. Your backup momentum generator is on a tiny little spaceship that just went that way at the speed of light. So you're going to have to just confirm. You're
Yeah,
just gonna have
yes,
to
yes,
confirm
it
this.
is.
All right. So, the hatches blow, the thrusters. You fire the thrusters to right the ship, and you get it pointed exactly where you need it to go to approach the alien ship. You get about halfway between where you are to where the alien ship is when the GM spends 5 threat.
Actually, I think this costs you 6 because it's annoying.
Okay, 6 threats. As Hisar has retracted the grapplers and is aiming, getting ready to fire, when her panel lights up and she sees that the power plant, the warp core on the alien ship is they're trying to push so much power through the engines to escape that their core is overheating. And she reports that there is an imminent core breach about to happen on the alien ship.
Commander, their core's overheating. Core breach is imminent.
Captain Shepard, we're reading that the core on the ship is about to.
Oh, he's
go-
gone. He's gone. You can't contact him at all.
I thought he was on the alien ship. Captain
No.
Shepard.
No. He's on there. Everyone else except for you and Hisar were on the captain's yacht, and they're gone.
Oh, yeah, I must still be foggy from getting knocked out.
Understandable.
It's fine. It's not like you're in command or anything.
And have we already established that we're not able to contact this ship?
Correct. Yeah.
Correct.
Hisar, advice? Maybe this is the stopping point for the week.
Get away.
I like.
So a getaway is the advice. That's your official recommendation.
I'm all out of ideas, Commander.
Do we, Kertrax or Hisar, do we know what kind of alien ship this is? Do we know anything about it?
It's the ship that showed up in a previous mission at the end, and it's the ship. I don't know if you remember from the previous episode, the 2 Vulcanoids that were with Sovek outside that were also drawn to this place, and then their captain showed up, and he's the captain of this ship. One of those Vulcanoids and the ship's captain captain are in the sick bay on Sovereign because they also got knocked out and were brought back to the ship. So presumably it's pretty clear that it's their ship. And from what you know, they're a pretty formidable force.
And you said there were how many crew members?
Roughly 2,000.
What is the transport speed capability of the Sovereign?
Transporters are inoperable due to the gravitational fields.
Yeah, but we're going to be flying right next to the thing.
They
Completely
won't.
inoperable? Will it change when you get closer?
No.
What?
Wait a minute. Detonating a line of torpedoes.
Well, if the warp core is going, we need to get the warp core away from the people. If we just detonate below the ship to move the ship, that's not gonna...
So I am going to spend another 5 threat.
Okay, now I am ready to swear.
The Sovereign is losing another point of power because the gravitational forces are becoming too great to sustain this, and the alien ship is too far gone and is at the point of degradation. Is basically at the point inside the thank you Mallory, is at the point inside the gravitational field where it is starting to be crushed itself. And in fact, while you guys are talking about what to do, and as the Sovereign is continuing to head into the atmosphere, the alien ship explodes. I said it was close. There we go. Thank you.
Oh, that's from Starfleet Command.
And
our angle, but I do challenge one thing though. Our angle, the course I plotted was actually with our speed and momentum was to use the gravity well that will, the angular momentum will throw us out of the orbit. So the whole point was to grapple that other ship and continue on the course that I was on and leave the gravity well of the planet.
Sure. The problem is that the planet is, the gravitational forces are continuing to increase exponentially, and they're just becoming greater than imaginable than you thought they were going to be.
Do I have enough to go to warp? Enough power?
You have enough power to go to warp. You can attempt to go to warp once. Let's put it that way.
Well, then I'm gonna go to warp.
Okay.
I've already lost the ship.
So
the Sovek nope, I'm out maneuver.
Sovik, did I make you roll to go to warp?
Yes. You said daring con for me.
Okay, yeah. So we'll do a daring con with a difficulty of 2.
Okay, so I get a ship assist on this. Do I get the 13 from the ship?
Yep.
All right, and I'll spend 1 momentum for another die for myself.
Yep, that's 3. Okay, and 1 momentum.
Wait a minute. Trying to see if there's anything I need to use beforehand. No, we should be fine. I think.
Man, I really should put the warp out button and the explosion button on the same page of the sound effects.
All right, the ship wrote a 12.
Okay, that's 1 success. You're halfway there.
And I rolled a 13 and an 8 and an 11, and I have 15 for Daring Con.
So that's 4 successes total.
Correct.
Okay. So, yep. Once you see the ship explode, you use what little power you have left. You plot a course out of the system and engage the warp engines. Daring maneuver, barely in an atmosphere warping out, but you're able to do it and you get out of the system. And eventually rendezvous with the captain's yacht, and everybody gets back on board. And that's where we'll end for tonight. So, yeah, completed this mission, The Secrets of Scorpio Alpha 9. And so next time we will start a new adventure with the crew of the USS Sovereign. So thank you everybody for watching. Thanks for joining us again as we start off our season 2. Don't forget to check out our social media channels for the times of our other shows: Accolade Hunter, Party 1 Armada Live, TFO Thursday, if we're doing that at the moment. And yeah, so thanks again for watching. This was a little bit longer episode, but hopefully we got you guys geared up for season 2. So with that, have a good night, everybody. Everybody say good night.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Night, everyone.
Night.
Night.